In our last video, I challenged myself to build a software publicly, auction it and sell it to the highest bidder. The only problem that we have is we don't have an auction site yet. So I challenged myself again to build that auction site as our first project. So in this video, I will be taking you guys through the design process of creating a software, and we will not be writing any line of code today, at least not at the moment. This video will be purely about the design process of creating a software. We will look at ERD diagrams, we will look at wireframes, we will look at sitemaps, among other design elements that we need to make a software work. The reason we are doing that is so that we don't end up building features that are not needed for this particular project. By the end of this video, we should have a complete design that can be implemented in the next episode. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Also turn on the notification button so that when we release new episodes for this series, you will be the first one to get notified. Now, as a user who is probably going to buy one of our softwares from the auction site, I reckon that you've already envisioned how the auction site will look. And if your vision has these three maps, then you should definitely become a developer too. So this is our root folder. This is where everything lives, and in the root folder we have the public unauthenticated pages. These are the pages that you can visit without needing a password or an email address. If you like, you can also refer to them as guest pages. So in the guest pages, we have the home page, we have the marketplace, we have the auction, we have login, we have registration, we have forgot password, we have reset password, and we have email verification. These pages have been designed as authenticated public pages, and you can visit them without needing password. Then of course we have the authenticated pages, and these pages include dashboard, my bids, watch list, won auction notification, and profile. In order to access these pages, you will need to create an account and have a password, because these pages are password protected. And for the admin area, we have the admin dashboard, we have the admin projects, we have the admin projects create. This is where the admin creates the projects. We have the admin projects edit. An admin can create a project and edit those projects within the admin dashboard. Then we have the admin auction. This is a page that shows the admin all the auctions that are available within the ecosystem. We have the admin auction create. This is where the admin creates an auction. We have the edit or manage auction. This is where the admin edits or manages an auction that is already running. We have the auction bid history, and on this page the admin is able to see the history of all the auctions and the bids that have run on this ecosystem. Then we have the admin users, and this is the user list where the admin is able to see everyone who has joined this ecosystem. In short, this is a sitemap of everything we need to create in the V1 to get a site that is running and ready to use. With everything that we have so far, we could begin building this project and cross our fingers that we get to the end of it without any bugs. But that is not the ideal way to go about it. As they say, not planning at all is planning to fail. So I don't want to fail on this project, and that is why I'm following all the principles of software engineering. And instead of jumping into that build blindly, I want us to look at other designs that will aid us in making a successful auction site. So the next design that I want us to look at is the buyer user flow diagram. So this design shows us how a visitor gets into our site all the way to when they leave the site. And we can see the entire process by following these alphabets. For example, in alphabet A, the user visits or lands on our site. They go to the home page, they browse the marketplace, they click on the auction cards, they view projects or auction details, and if they are interested in bidding, they are required to log in to bid. If they are not interested in bidding, they can add a project to their watch list and leave the site. If they are interested in bidding and they have already logged in, they will be returned to the auction page, and if they have not verified their email address, they will be shown a notification to verify that email address. Once they verify the email address, they can enter an amount for the bid. If the bid is valid, they will be allowed to submit. After submitting, the system will confirm if there is a higher bid than whatever this client has placed and show them that they have been outbid by another buyer. If the bid is okay, the bid will be accepted. So let's look at a different scenario. This is a scenario where a user has entered a bid that is lower than whatever is already in the system. They will be shown an error. For example, the minimum bid is X amount and you have entered a lower amount. Then there is a scenario where a user tries to enter a bid on an auction that is not started yet. They will also receive that notification. Auction has not yet started. Now that was a scenario for a user who already has an account. Let's look at a different scenario, and this is a scenario for a user who doesn't have an account and they are interested in bidding. They try to log in to place a bid, they don't have an account, so they are taken to register. They register, receive an email to verify their email address. If they verify that email address, they are taken back to the auction page, and since they have already verified their email, they continue with the flow until they place a bid. Now, in the event that user A places a bid and they are winning on that bid, then after a while, someone else gets into the system and outbids them. They will receive a notification that they have been outbid and they need to place another bid, a higher bid than whatever is already in the system. If they can't do that, they lose the auction and are allowed to go back to other projects that are available in the system and try to bid on them. If they are not interested in any of the projects that are running, they can leave or they can continue browsing the marketplace. The next scenario is they lose the auction, don't take any action, and receive an email and a notification on the system notifying them that the auction has ended and they did not win. I hope that buyer flow is detailed enough, but I don't want this video to become so long, so I'll not take you guys through the admin flow. I'll not walk you guys through the auction life cycle. I will not look at the auction rules. I will not look at the ERD diagrams, not look at the architecture, not look at the component maps, security, decision logs, and all the other designs that are required for this system. However, when we begin building, I will compile all these into a single document and attach them to each individual project, which means that even if we don't look at them on video, you can still go through each of the diagrams, you can still go through each of the maps, you can still go through each of the layouts and make your recommendations. If there is anything that I miss, feel free to reach out and let's talk about it. Before I end this video, let us look at one final design, and that is the wireframes. These are low fidelity designs, and the reason why I've decided to go with black and white is because I don't want to concern myself with the branding at the moment. We just need to make sure that the system works, then we can choose the brand as we build. So if you look at this design, you notice that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. The first section is the header section, then we have the hero section, we have the product section or the live auction section, how it works, ending soon, and the footer. If I may interpret, this is how the website will look. We will have an image here and text here, an image here, text, image, text, image, text. Then this is the marketplace, and the marketplace is also designed in an e-commerce style. Very simple. We have the filter options, we have the search, we have the sort by, and we have the auction cards. At the bottom, we also have pagination to try control the page not to grow so long. Then we have the project stroke auction details page, and this is where you will see everything that you need to know about the auction before you place your bid. This is the login page, this is the registration page, and this is the dashboard. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode and you will be following this series to the end. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, go ahead and tap on that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that when we post more videos, you will be the first one to get notified. Until next time, bye bye. My name is Ken Omolo.